Hey, just real quick, we're in Lent, and I love Lent. I think Lent is a fun time. My Boston Chinese used to say there's way more feasting in the Bible than fasting, which is absolutely true. There's, we come and receive the wedding feast of the Lamb, and that's awesome, and it's good. The year's a party, but like once a year we get to like dive in. I like it. I like the penitential side of things. Kind of like strip away like some of the spiritual weight that we put on through the year of just like kind of settling and grabbing onto things and I don't know, getting complacent, and that happens to all of us. So this is just a good time to kind of enter into the whole reason we're here and what Jesus did. So in Lent, often you give something up. This year I didn't give anything up. Lent kind of just happened. And it didn't seem that normally I give up music and just don't listen to music. That way, every time I go to turn something on, when I would instinctively turn music on, then I don't. And I decide, oh, okay, wait. No, I'm going to pray. But that's still, I don't know. Just didn't seem like the thing to do this year. And so I already do fasting because we've talked about that in the Sam DeLeo and Minor Hunger Pains episode. And so I'm going to springboard off of that this time because nowadays, because because I'm elderly, because I am geriatric age, because my metabolism just decided to stop, then nowadays I do twice a week. I do a 20-hour fast at minimum, and then the rest of the week I just eat well. I just eat healthy. But so anyway, I was in the middle of a big long fast, and I was at Adoration recently, and I went there. We had a warm spell in Minnesota, and it was 37 degrees, and so I went there with a t-shirt on, and I almost said no pants. I went with pants. I had pants on. It's weird. I don't know. That's odd. I always wear pants when I go to Adoration. Not otherwise, but I do when I go to Adoration. I'm not an animal. Anyway, I was there with pants on and a t-shirt, and it got cold very quickly, and it's just me in the prayer chapel, so then I started running in place because that works really, really well to get, your body temp up. So I'm running in place, looking, and then like I got this wave of like a hunger pain, and it was strong because I hadn't eaten in many hours, and those come and go, and my instinct was to be like, okay, I need to find some water or something just to kind of satiate that. And it was a moment where, like, for me, like, time just kind of slows down when I have like these glimpses once in a while of just a sane thought, and I realized, wait a minute, like, so we're in Lent, and most people offer something up, and most people, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, and so I realized, and this is a really quick video. We're at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. But for me, I realized, wait a minute, it's fine. We don't need to beat ourselves up. We should enter into Lent as much as we can. We should. Then as much as we can. And so as much as you can't, then nothing's expected of what you can't do. So there's like a medium we should find. We should definitely pray, fast, and give alms, definitely. And then just do what you can, though. Like, stretch yourself, but don't break yourself. Anyway, so I realized in this time I was experiencing a hunger pain. And it was, for me, just a moment of clarity where I was like, here's what I'm going to do. When I'm fasting, not even for religious reasons, it's just fasting that I do. Every time I get a hunger pain, every other hunger pain is Jacelyn's, is my wife. Like, I will ache on her behalf. So I will in some way enter into suffering for her in her place. And then if then every other hunger pain I'm going to offer for those who are truly hungry in the world. And pause. I know if you're watching this and you're just cynical, like, and cocky like me, then you're like, oh, that's great for you to have a hunger pain for those who are in need. Why don't you give some food to the poor? Well, okay, first of all, why are you so mad? Again, it's you that I'm talking to every time. Why are you so angry? But second, we do. We give to the poor all the time, always, and we all should. I mean, everybody should be giving to the poor. We shouldn't overlook the poor. And so with our time, treasure, and talent, we do. And that's a whole other video. But as well, because we are spirit-body composites, then what we do in the flesh impacts our spirit, and what we do spiritually impacts the flesh. We believe that prayer works. We believe that... so the Catechism says that the worst moral moment in all of history was when humanity killed God, when they took the Son of God and nailed him to a tree. But that became the greatest moment in all of eternity because it was offered, because the Son willingly gave himself in our place. And that act of willfully offering himself for us, it saved us. It was redemption. It's the pinnacle. It's everything. And it was because it is offered. And in fact, at one point, Pilate is, talking with Jesus, and he says, I could take your life from you. And Jesus says, you can't take my life. I'm giving you my life. I'm laying down my life. You're not taking anything from me. But that willful laying down of this, we've talked about how life is so precious. The willful laying down of that life, it redeems. It brought redemption. Like that, his dying brought redemption to the world. So that's why the church talks about redemptive suffering, because we believe we can offer small and large moments of suffering for redemption to further, even if it's just a centimeter or an inch into this world, we can further the redemptive power of God, his love. And so maybe it's a hunger pain. Well, we believe, though, that you can take that instead of running from it, instead of whatever, you can offer it. And so in that moment, I'm running there. I have clarity. It's just me alone. There's nothing going on. I have clarity. And I decide in that moment to offer it up. Now, I'm going to get grumpy when I'm hungry, and I'm going to snap at my family. I'm going to try to run people off the road. But now, while I'm clear-headed, my intent is this. And intention is huge. You'll hear people say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, yeah. What? I don't know. That's a man-made thing. That's not from the Bible. I mean, intentions are a lot. They're not everything, but they are a lot. So intending to do something is huge because it's like forcing your heart to. So my intention is every time I encounter a hunger pain, it's either for Jacelyn or for the hungry. For Jacelyn or for the hungry. And that's small. It's nothing. It's what this idiot can do. But maybe Lent came upon you this year. Maybe it just rushed in and you're like, it's Lent. And now it's almost over. It's not, but it will be. Well, okay, it's fine. It's cool. Things happen. But I know for a fact, sometime today, you're going to get hungry just because it's in between meals. And then the temptation will be to satiate. It's like, I gotta run from this minor discomfort. Well, like I talked about in prior videos, you can just be hungry. But during Lent, why not just take, my intention is this. The next hunger pain I get is going to be for such and such. Or how about for the next week, every hunger pain I get is for the people I love. And then the following week, every hunger pain is for so-and-so. And we're just going to move this along. And we're going to embrace them. We're not going to run from them. They're minor. But they can be offered into this, like Paul says, that he was making up for what is in his sufferings, he was making up for what is lacking in the sufferings of Christ. Does that mean what Christ did was inadequate on the cross? No. But Christ's redemptive suffering is real. And so he left us as his body in this world to continue to extend redemption to the world. Yep, in just a minute you can play a game. So that's all I'm saying is this Lent, you can do that. Just offer your minor hunger pain, your minor discomfort. Maybe you have a hurt ankle. Maybe you get headaches. When I used to get migraines all the time, I don't get them anymore, but when I used to get migraines real bad, I would try to, in that moment, be like, okay, well then I'm just going to receive this for somebody who might actually have a brain tumor. So for somebody who might be in way more pain than this wimpy Nick is. And so what I'm saying is maybe you didn't decide on something, just decide this. Decide that, make it your intention that the discomfort that comes, and I would say hunger because prayer, fasting, and almsgiving is a thing. So fasting is a thing, and we do Friday fast, and that's absolutely true. But you could just, every hunger pain you get today, just don't run from it. Because your meal is coming. You'll get to eat. But even, how about this? Yeah, your hunger pain comes, and with the, I don't know, I was going to say Twinkies, but that's like such an old joke. What do I have? For me, it's tortilla chips. I don't know. I was looking at my pantry here. The cue card. Tortilla chips. I have tortilla chips. For me, that's it. Like, I just eat those by the bag. So there's a distance between you and the tortilla chip. Maybe wait 60 seconds. And then that's your... Seriously, you'd think that's small. But the other night, we went down to Virginia, Minnesota, because we live in a barren wasteland. And we went there because they have a Target and they have a Pizza Hut. And so we went to Target, and then we loaded everything in the covered wagon, and then we went over to the Pizza Hut. And it had been a lot of time since we had eaten. And my son Davey, he's 8. He's had the metabolism of, I don't know, the guy who invented metabolisms. I'm not sure, but it's crazy. He just has, he can barely pinch skin. He's just wind. And so he was really hungry, and we had to wait because I think all of Virginia was at Pizza Hut, and there was this one 19-year-old kid named Keith. Poor Keith. Pray for Keith. Offer your hunger pains for Keith. That poor kid, I wanted to report his manager because his manager had left him with that, and he was just running around, just kind of weeping out of his acne. Anyway, so we were at Pizza Hut, and we had to wait a while. And so we went out to the car, Davey and I, to go get something. And on the way out, he's like, I'm so hungry. And I was like, dude, so am I. I had been fasting for a long time. And I was like, me too, bud. So here's what we'll do. We won't tell anyone about it in the moment. I'm telling you now, but we won't tell anybody about it now. But we have to wait like 11 more minutes till the food comes, and it's gonna be rough. But why don't we just both just be okay with it? Why don't we just be hungry, and we'll offer it up for each other and for those who are in need. And hopefully then you and I can grow closer, and we can hopefully help bring people to Jesus more in a small way. He's like, okay. And then we did. And it was a small moment, but it was a moment where a bunch happened, actually. Technically, he and I grew closer. We grew deeper with Christ, and we learned more and more what it means to embrace suffering. So for you, again, this is just, then I'm done. Just, you don't need to, like, define some big, huge thing. If you want to, that's fine. That's cool. And tell me what it is, because then I'll try to follow suit. But maybe it just came upon you, and you don't know what. Just take every other hunger pain. Offer every other hunger pain for something. And you'd be surprised. So anyway, I hope you have a good life. I'll see you on the other side.